Right. Hello again. This is Blue Ghost TZ Poofs signing in after probably about a year of inactivity. Now, first off, I would like to apologize to everyone that has been subscribing to me that really hasn't been getting any videos. I would say that it's more that just haven't had any time at all, but really that's not true. But you know, I would say that I got into the slump where, that there was a problem with commitment to this hobby, and I realized it, and even my friends realized. They're like, you need to get back at it, man. You do it. So I said, well, okay. So I wanted to make a couple little updates for you guys since it is Christmas, and Merry Christmas, by the way. So I will take you throughout a couple little changes I've done to the layout, and then hopefully be able to show you guys some of the neat little things I've got planned for this layout. So without further ado, let's take it. Alright, so the first thing I would like to show you is a little project I'm working on to make the layout more animated. Now, being this, I was starting to realize that, these trains are going around the layout, but there's not much else happening around. The buildings are staying stationary. There's nothing going on like a Lionel set I was starting to think of when I started seeing Lionel trains around Christmas. I'm like, well, maybe I can do something to make this layout more animated. So what I'm starting to do is put smoke effects into the buildings and maybe some of the engines, hopefully. So I've started with working on the smokestack that is around my goods yard, and I've hauled the inside out so I can get a smoke unit in there. Just yesterday went out to hobby shop and purchased a Soothe smoke unit for buildings, and it's very easy to install. Works off of the AC power, and hope to make this this smokestack right here actually smoke. So that'll be an interesting little project, and hopefully I can get that wired up pretty soon. Right, now these are another project I've just completed. Almost completed, I should say. Now these are the Ratio Great Western Railway four-wheel coaches that they come in a kit. They're rather easy to build, but I will say they're rather tricky to paint, especially in accurate GWR markings. I've actually had to give up a couple little details on the paintwork to actually be able to paint it and make it look good. I can only do so much, at least I can only do so much with hand painting. But these are all hand painted. The chocolate and cream was one of the original Great Western colors for the coaches. I've got 3 different styles, as you can see here. So that's looking pretty good. I would basically just have the couplers to put on after this, and then they'll be ready to roll. So that's one little project that just is being completed. And then right above the coaches you'll see a new signal box. This is in fact the Bachmann Thompson Friends range signal box, the new one that's just been released. And I was a little skeptical when I saw it being released. I'm like, well, maybe I'll have a look. Looked at it at the shop, the hobby shop the other day when it finally came in, and I was extremely impressed. This is now come to my attention that this is most likely a previous Bachmann Scenecraft item from the UK, and they've done a few changes to it to adapt to the Thomas & Friends line. But nevertheless, it has concrete seams between the bricks. It has parts where the bricks are not just consistent, like this piece right here, which has been a little bit damaged, which is great. It's great to have that little bit of detail added to it. Even the shingles on the roof, they're not the same. They're almost completely different per row. So it's really interesting. And then the windows are glazed on the inside, so if you want to put a lighting kit in here and light it up, it will shine out with not any detail being exposed on the inside. So, I hope to get that as an animated part of my layout as well. So there's that. I would definitely give high props to the Bachmann Industries Thomas and Friends line for releasing that for the American market. Don't have to go on eHattons to get all of my stuff now. We might have already seen this in some of the shots, so I figured I might give you a little sneak peek of a modeling project I've pretty much done from scratch, but it does involve a character from the Thompson Friends line. Maybe you can guess which character it is. I will say no more. Now, so this is another shed, or another little siding shed for my goods yard. I built this from scratch as well, completely from scratch. No other models used in the construction. Now, once again, a reference to the Thomas and Friends TV series. You might be able to pick out this this shed from a certain station goods yard from the series, but it's not completely finished yet. Still have to do the windows and the windowsills, but it's got some pretty good detail throughout it, if I do say so myself. Done a little bit of weathering to it, and it looks quite the part now. All the rest of the projects aside for now, we have important business to discuss. Just came into possession of a Bachmann Industries City Class 440. Now, the most famous of this class, and the only surviving member of this class, was the famous City of Truro, which is said to have been the first 100-mile-per-hour record, but that was not authenticated according to legend. However, this is a very impressive model, and based off of a very impressive class. It's this particular one is City of London. This has been released by Bachmann probably about a year or so ago for purchase from people that didn't have the ability to go out to the NRM and get City of Truro, especially considering City of Truro's high price. Now, this is not cheap, but it's a fair amount more reasonable than the City of Truro model. As you can see, it comes with 2 packets of detail. This is the first one, which is simply the front wheel truck, and then there's some cab interior parts to add. But maybe we can take a quick look here. Now, I have to say that this is by far the most detailed locomotive I have so far, and really this model in itself is a great achievement by Bachmann, considering what Bachmann used to be in terms of detail. But it's hard to get some detail captured in the camera, but I will be doing a review on this model very soon, and hopefully be able to get some better light on the detail. Nevertheless, I'm extremely happy to have it in my collection now, and I hope that you guys all got what you wanted for Christmas. If not, there's always next Christmas. So, without further ado, this is Blue Coat Cheesy Poofs signing off. I will see you later, but Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thank you for a great, wonderful year in 2014.